The essential question, what is energy and what are the two main types? Energy is the ability to do work or cause a change. So energy can help us move things around. It can be in the form of electricity, okay, or it can cause a change. We can do a chemical reaction. Things have chemical energy also, like when we digest our food. The two main types of energy are kinetic and potential. So we're going to start with kinetic. Kinetic energy, Ke, is energy of motion. And the equation is 1/2 mass times speed. And what that means is that the greater the mass, the more kinetic energy you have. The greater the speed, the more kinetic energy you have. So think of a car crash, for example. The bigger the car, or the faster it's going, the more energy it's going to have when it gets into its collision. Or think of when you have something, when you throw something. The bigger it is, the faster you throw it, the more energy it's going to have when it hits something. The second form of energy is potential energy, PE, and that's stored energy. And it can be either energy of position or from chemical composition. So we're going to start with energy of position. GPE is gravitational potential energy. It should be an E. And that's things that can fall. And GPE equals weight times height. So that means that the higher up you are, or the heavier you are, the more gravitational potential energy you will have. So if you think of a big rock balancing up on top of a cliff, the higher up it is, okay, the bigger the rock is, the more gravitational potential energy it has. And remember that potential energy is stored energy. So this is not energy of motion, this is energy that is stored and getting ready to release. Energy of position can also be stretched or compressed things. So if you think of stretching a rubber band, and it has stored energy because as soon as you release it, it's going to move. Or compressing something like a spring, the shocks in your car, you push those down, and as soon as it releases, that releases energy. The next type of potential energy is chemical composition. In this case, a chemical reaction can release the energy. So if you think of digesting your food, burning fuel, those are actual chemical reactions that are causing a release of energy. So your food or the gasoline in your car is storing energy, and it's going to be released as soon as that chemical reaction occurs. So to sum things up, this right here is a diagram representing a basketball, for example, flying through the air. If we're down here on the ground, the ball's not really moving yet. It's pretty close to the ground. Okay, the kinetic and the potential energy are pretty even. Okay, as it moves up, we have half potential energy and half kinetic energy. Remember, kinetic energy is energy of motion, and potential energy in this case, we're talking about gravitational potential energy. So the ball is moving as you throw it up. It has a lot of kinetic energy. And then as it goes up and up higher, it starts to slow down. As it slows down, it starts to lose kinetic energy. It's about half and half right here. We get up to the top. Maximum potential energy. This is the highest it's going to go. It stops moving for just a second. It's moving up, and for just a second it hovers, and then it starts to fall down in the other direction. So it has 0 kinetic energy up here. As it falls, it goes faster and faster and faster. So about half and half at the halfway point. And right before it hits the ground, maximum kinetic energy. That's where it's moving the fastest. And it's going to have 0 potential as it hits the ground. It can't fall down any further. So 0 potential, maximum kinetic right before it hits the ground.